Hello, everyone. Welcome to the series of podcasts of Nari Prenyo. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming and inspiring women is transforming the way women connect and network in Delhi. She is the founder of City Girls Who Walk Delhi, has built more than just a walking club, not more than just a walking club, but also she has created a space for women to come together and build meaningful relationships and support one another through the simple yet powerful act of walking. Her initiative is not just about fitness, but about fostering and accumulate community to empowerment and solidarity among women. Her visions to bring women together one step at a time, which is truly a reflection of her passion or connection and social change. Welcome to my podcast, Manisha, the founder of City Girls Who Walk Delhi.
Hi Shweta, thank you so much for the great introduction. I am, touched and humbled. It was really nice. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you so much, Manisha, you're coming here. And I feel so blessed and privileged so that I can connect with you directly. Thank you so much for coming. The series of Nari Preneur.
Thank you so much for inviting Shweta. I think what you're doing is great, and I am honored to be a part of this. Thank you.
So I think let's start our today's session. Let's dive into today's podcast, which is much more of a conversational style. I
Correct.
believe the authenticity is much powerful rather than to show up in a different set of environment. Right.
Correct. Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Manisha, tell me, what inspire you to start this amazing venture, City Girls Who Walk Delhi, and how has impacted the women who join your walk?
Sure. So I think ever since COVID, I had a very tough time during COVID because I like to be surrounded by people around me, have conversations, have fun with people, and I like how we have nuclear families now. I always loved the setup of a joint family, as as a kid, because there would be somebody always, there would be a lot happening in the family. And I think I realized early on that I like being around people, even at workplace, or with my friends, going outdoors. So after COVID, I think just staying indoors and not doing much of that, much of socializing, I started missing the feeling of being around people, and talking to new people as well, because I realized that our my particularly social circle was limited to my school friends, my college friends, some friends at work, and not nothing other than that. So I really wanted to connect to other people. I used to reach out to people on LinkedIn. I even tried Bumble BFF just to see and
Okay.
make new friends. Yeah. So I think it stemmed from there, uh, but I didn't know how to actually make that feeling into something tangible. um, and I would tell my friends also that I want to meet new people, have new conversations, because generally with our friends, with our family, we tend to have the same conversations over and over again. We go to the same places, do same things, and you know um, nothing changes about that utna zyada. So last year when I was working with the Times Group, I was working on one of their apps called Long Works. So I was actually made to research um, walking clubs in US, because the target audience is people in US who who we could partner with. So I stumbled upon City Girls Who Walk, which is like the main page who started it, across the world, and then people made their own chapters of it. So I thought it would be interesting to find something here. This was in March last year at 1 in the night. I thought to find something similar here, and I decided I would uh, spend my weekends doing something like this. But I couldn't find it, to my surprise, and randomly at 1 in the night, I thought to create the page. The username was available, and I immediately latched on that opportunity. I didn't even wait till morning. I made the page immediately, made like a random, very basic post on Canva
Hmm.
saying that the first walk will be hosted on Lodi Gardens in Lodi Gardens, and I posted that. I didn't tell my friends because I was also scared that they would probably see, judge me or think कि इसको क्या हो गया? why she
Exactly.
why has she created something like this? So I didn't even tell my friends. I decided कि पहला वॉक करके देखेंगे कि
हाँ.
क्या रिस्पॉन्स आता है एंड तब तक मैं फ्रेंड्स को भी नहीं बताऊंगी आई कीप इट अ सीक्रेट
Okay.
बट वेरी गुड फ्रेंड ऑफ माइंड माइका शी फिगर्ड आउट कि मैंने कुछ बनाया है वी आर वेरी क्लोज दैट वे एंड that's it and I made the page and I think 2-3 days later the walk was scheduled for like a Saturday हम लोग मैं पहुंची मैं जब जा रही थी रास्ते में मुझे लगा कि आई डोंट थिंक एनीबडी वुड शो अप इवन दो हम लोग को 100 से ऊपर क्वेरीज आए थे या
हाँ.
इंटरेस्ट आए थे बट आई वाज थिंकिंग व्हाई वुड एनीबडी शो अप एक रैंडम इंस्टाग्राम पेज है 10-15 फॉलोअर्स हैं लोग क्यों आएंगे
Hmm.
और मैं रास्ते में जब जा रही थी तो मुझे लग रहा था कि मे बी मैं अकेले ही वहाँ पे होंगी कोई आएगा नहीं तो मैं वेट कर रही थी आई मेट सौम्या शी वॉज द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू ज्वाइन एंड देन देयर वर 6 अदर पीपल सौम्या और मैं चल रहे थे और हमने ऐसे सौम्या ने बताया कि उसको भी ऐसा कुछ करना था
Hmm.
तो हमने सोचा कि चलो साथ में ट्राई करते हैं एंड वी डिड दैट फॉर लाइक 8-9 months धीरे धीरे लोग आते रहे और लोग जुड़ते गए और बहुत ही मतलब अच्छा एक कम्युनिटी बनता गया हम लोग को सौम्या मेरा बहुत पहले तक क्लियर था कि हम लोग कोई और नहीं भी आएगा तब भी हम लोग वॉक पे जाएंगे
Hmm.
अगर हम दोनों भी बचे तो हम तब भी जाएंगे तो वो बहुत अच्छा सौम्या मेरा
That's
बॉन्ड
amazing. हाँ.
yeah. And eventually, like Soumya got busy with her work requirements, so I had to handle it alone. But I think just seeing ki how community appreciated it, you know, uh, f- gave us some purpose and some motivation कि करते रहें तो हमारे हर हर वर्क हमारी ऑलमोस्ट अनलेस कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट अगर दिल्ली में कुछ कर्फ्यू है या फिर दिल्ली में अगर कुछ रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं तभी हम वॉक कैंसिल करते थे बट फॉर आई थिंक गुड 8-9 months हमने हर वीक में एक वॉक होस्ट करी है
Hmm.
एंड द रिस्पॉन्स वॉज ग्रेट शुरुआत में 7 लोग आए देन नंबर इंक्रीज होके 10 हुआ 12 हुआ एक बार ड्रॉप भी हुआ नंबर 4 लोग आए थे सिर्फ
Okay.
तो ऐसा भी हुआ एंड इवेंचुअली मार्च में हमने शुरू किया था सितंबर से 100+ लोग आने लग गए हमारी वॉक्स पे तो हमें रियलाइज़ हुआ कि इसकी पावर कितनी है लोग लोग शायद हम ही नहीं थे जो wanted something like this there are so many other people who also want to do something apart from their regular lives something apart from just meeting the same set of people तो हम लोग को उसकी पावर रियलाइज़ हुई हम लोग को और ज़्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल फील हुआ कि हम उनका जो हम उन्हें एक्सपीरियंस प्रोवाइड कर रहे थे वी कुड हाउ वी कुड मेक इट बेटर फॉर देम so I think we just kept going on and it's been 1.5 years we haven't stopped since.
Wow, wow, Manisha, and it's more of like more of inspiring story from your side because it's truly amazing because the number that you have already said कि 6, 7, 12 one time drop and मतलब इस चीज के लिए आपको कंसिस्टेंस होना बहुत जरूरी है कंसिस्टेंसी एंड हैव टू बी persistent towards your goal, right?
Correct,
Right, and
definitely.
please continue.
And I think also not I think we were not when I also look back I feel we were not very रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड कि
Yes.
अगर इतने लोग नहीं आए तो हम क्या करेंगे या नंबर ड्रॉप हो गया तो हम क्या करेंगे हम लोग को बस था कि हम अपने इसे बोलते हैं कि कर्म पे फोकस करिए हम
Yes.
लोग उतना ही हमारा मोटिव क्लियर था कि हमारा पूरा जो जो फोकस है फुल फोकस इज ऑन डूइंग आवर बिट
Amazing.
एंड वील जस्ट कीप ऑन डूइंग इट
And
एंड
it's amazing, seriously, Manisha, because it's completely work with so organically that people automatic attracts, and it creates a different set of environment in Delhi or even outside Delhi. People are talking about. See,
yeah
I'm from Kanpur, and people are from Kanpur. They are talking about this particular community.
wow
So it is really amazing, right? So you have done a fab job in that point. So, Manisha, because you have started this community, City Girls Who Walk Delhi. So, what are the challenges did you face while establishing a women centric walking? and in this networking club, and how did you overcome them, like?
Yeah. So I think I realized like early on कि एक तो हम लोग को Instagram we realized कि could be the preferable medium for us to promote this because थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट था कि अगर हम लोग अपने फ्रेंड सर्कल से भी शुरू करते तो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल था कि हम एक वाइडर ऑडियंस को रीच आउट करते. So we realized कि Instagram was a good way to reach out to new people. And then I think starting में one concern that people used to share was how their parents would tell, or like people or their friends would tell कि आप Instagram पे एक पेज देखा आपने और आप उनकी वर्क्स पे जा रहे हो. तो
Exactly.
is it safe? Because I think as women, there are a lot of safety concerns that we all have, and rightly so, considering
Exactly.
the environment that we live in. So I think a lot of people used to tell that, and that was something we realized कि we needed to build an even stronger community on Instagram to actually reach out to more people, to actually have हमारा Instagram content have those women in them.
Hmm.
So the other women who are just watching our reels or post on our in while sitting
Hmm.
in their homes can have a sense of trust. तो मैंने पर्सनली जब शुरुआत में शुरू किया तो आई यूज टू पोस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ माई स्टोरीज
Hmm.
just to build that trust कि there's somebody who's just like you who's
Hmm.
made this page, and you can
Hmm.
people used to tell me कि आप अपनी स्टोरीज डाले, आपने अपनी स्टोरीज डाली तो हमें ट्रस्ट फैक्टर डेवलप हुआ आपके पेज के साथ, क्योंकि
Hmm.
आई थिंक द it's easier for people to trust us now because we
Exactly.
have a decent following, and they see a lot of women join.
Hmm.
But शुरुआत में when we had only 50 100 followers, it was not
It will take time, Manisha.
yeah,
Yes.
it
Huh.
was it was not that easy. So I think we created a lot of content. I also made a lot of stories, Instagram stories, asked people, welcomed people to join, and
Yes.
tried to give them the idea that this was a safe space for them to join. And धीरे धीरे many people joined. So I think Instagram also, because if you are building a digital community and you've decided on the channel that you want to use to promote that community, thoda sa just staying up to date on that platform and knowing the strategies that work well on that platform to so that you reach out to more people
Exactly.
is very important. So I am a social media manager anyway by profession. So
Okay. I think
and
that's a positive significance for you to building that community.
yes, so I thought I'll just whatever I knowledge I had, I thought I'll just use it. And
Yes.
every day there's a new learning, of course. But I think जितना भी हम mind लगा ले, how much mind we use, I think we should also use our heart when we're building a community.
Exactly.
When we're building a brand, we can use the best practices, use our brains कि क्या work कर रहा है क्या नहीं. But when we want to build a community, there has to be some heart involved. So I realized that आप जितना ब्रांड को आप जब बना रहे हो तो you have to use a lot of mind कि हमें best practices ये हैं. What I realized while building this community is that you have to have a heart. You have to actually understand what people want, and put them in put yourself in their shoes. And community needs a lot of heart, and I think that's what I've tried to do, keep it as real as possible. And I think that is what has um, helped us connect with a lot of people. uh,
No, rightly said, Manisha, because when your personal connection is not there now, so community is not built, right? So the
Correct.
point is how the community is built. There is a connection between people to people, and your synergy to connect with people, that is your USP. That's
Correct.
what we connected so many people, so many women around there.
Yeah.
Right. It's truly a commendable, Manisha. So, Manisha, tell me, because you have a number of people of community that all about women oriented community. So, in women sector, there are different age criteria. Like there are different age groups are there. So,
Yeah.
उन सारी जो that different age group की जो women से how you can foster and build that break their stereotypical type of mindset, because every walk of life, every walk of segment, the women's mindset is different. So
Correct.
during that kind of walk, how it helps, like how to break the stereotypical thought.
So I think हम लोग को भी एक लगता था कि how will we tackle this. and we used to think that can be a challenge as well. But after hosting multiple walks earlier, what used to happen was a lot of young people would show up, people my age, people even younger college goers. So they used to show up, and they, like, I have realized that even I am 29, and even when college goers would show up and they would interact with people my age, I the difference was evident in their thought processes, in the way they view the world. It was definitely very different. And only a handful of people above 50 or 60 would show up. But then that also that number as well increased slowly. So we've had people who are above 60 who they also joined, and they are very energetic, very passionate. But what I've realized is that हम लोग differences ढूंढने लगेंगे, we'll find many. But if we find the similarities, then we'll find many similarities. So what I've realized over time is that we are more similar than we are different.
Right.
So
Rana,
so
rightly said, rightly said. Yes.
so there's always if you come with an open mind, you will find a lot of similarities in women who are above 50, 60 as well, and in women who are just 18 or 19. So I think you know it's just about maybe talking about the right subjects, and just being open about the viewpoints that other people have. So how a 50-year-old looks at the world may be different from how a 18-year-old looks at the world. But I think if they are open-minded enough to open-minded and empathetic enough to understand where the other person is coming from, I think we can all make a very compassionate and a considerate community. And I think that is what we've never faced any challenge when it comes to this. And a lot of times, because now सारे age groups आते हैं,
Hmm.
so generally people we have introductions before we start the works. So उस introductions में people find the right people that they feel they can connect with.
Yeah.
And I know people who are who have a lot of age difference, a big age difference between them. There's somebody who's 40, 41, I think, and then there's somebody who's my age, who's 28, I think. She's a year younger. They both have become really good friends. So there's a age gap of almost 11 years, 12 years, but they both hang out very often. They celebrated their birthday also together. So I
Wow.
think, yeah, her one the person who's 28, her name is Nainika, and the person who's 41, her name is Abida, and they both have really connected well. And recently they celebrated their birthday also together. So
Great.
I think age age is not a problem if you're open minded enough, and leave the apprehensions, the stereotypes behind, and actually come with a heart to understand people truly.
Rightly said, Manisha. Actually, there is the wise man said there is a one quote: "If you go fast, go alone. But if
Yeah,
you go far, go with the team." So go with togetherness, right? And rightly, even I personally know Abida also, because her age is 41, and recently I'm turning 40. So I
okay,
know, and I'm pretty much relatable with your whatever you are अभी आप बता रहे हो मुझे आप. So that is a very true concept. Like अगर आपका mindset आपका 28-year-old के साथ भी अगर align कर रहा है, so that is
correct,
absolutely okay. There is no right and wrong. It's all
correct,
about the mindset, how you connect with the people, right?
yeah,
So I think the world is changing, and the change is constant. We have to accept it and just go with that flow.
definitely.
Perfectly right said. So, Manisha, what kind of advice would you give to young women who are hesitant to join that kind of community or groups or step outside their comfort zone? Because there are a lot of inhibitions in their mindset.
Right. So I think what we have realized, I think in 1.5 years, we receive a lot of messages also from people who say that I really wanted to join this particular walk, but I am an introvert. Uh, I have anxiety, or like I have I don't know how to interact with such a big group of people. And I always tell them that it's you can take it at your own pace. Even like when it comes to how fast or how slow people walk, we were very clear from the beginning that there's no competition here. There's no, we're not competing against each other. We're just coming to, find like-minded women. And people can walk at their own pace. Even like, with introductions, we because not everybody, there might be a day when I feel very confident about giving an introduction about myself,
Hmm.
but there could be days when I don't feel like it, and I just want to be out there with women and maybe not talk that much, maybe not interact that much, but just be there. You know,
Exactly.
we all have those days. So I try to tell them that, you can just come and, choose to, take the day as it goes. There's no pressure. Just because, you're out on such a on and part of such a gathering doesn't mean that you have to, be fully involved, or you have to like really push yourself to make a bond with anyone. It's fine if you take the day as is. Just come, first get a grasp of the experience and just be yourself. There's no pressure on anybody. And some people are introverts, some people, maybe, that maybe we all have, our own struggles and reasons to not be, present in places where we want to go. So I just tell them, to take their own time to see when they feel, they're ready to join such a thing. And if at all they do, I try to assure them that, it's going to be like a safe space in every sense. There's no pressure at all on anyone. There are some people who sometimes during the introductions they say ki, I remember there was one person, I won't, take her name, but she had recently, lost her job, and she was going through a time where she was not feeling very confident about herself. And introductions people generally tell about what they do, where they're from, what's their age. So she was not very confident, sharing, and she told this to me later. In the introductions part, she just said that, I wouldn't like to introduce myself. And while people were, insisting her, nudging her to, do it, I was like, it's fine if you don't want to do it. Like, there should be no pressure. You should not, leave your home thinking कि अब मुझे 100 लोगों के साथ interact करना है. I have to tell them what I do when you don't feel like doing it. Uh, you know, uh, and there were no judgments, nothing. We all have different phases in our lives, and ups and downs career में भी होता ही रहता है. So I told her that, it's fine if you don't want to introduce yourself. And she later, came to me. She said that she really appreciated it, and she told me, how she was going through like a problem in her career. But she realized later that, when she found more people who were going through similar phases, she also became confident about her story. And then later on, she would tell, I recently lost my job, and I'm just figuring out what to do. So I've seen her becoming, owning her story, and that's really impressive to see. And I think that वो हो भी तब सकता है when you have a safe space to actually, talk about, the vulnerable realities of your life. So
Exactly.
yeah, so I think that's very clear for me. Even, because I feel I'm an ambivert. There are days when I feel, when I feel that I can interact with everyone. But like you've also joined on one of the works and the dance workshop as well. You must have noticed that, I also am not, very out there.
Yeah,
I'm also
I've
still
seen I've seen Manisha.
I'm also, still figuring out how to manage 100
Yes.
people, how to, make connections with that big of a group.
Yes.
And I used to earlier, think कि मुझे कुछ ऐसा मुझे कोई classes लेनी चाहिए to be more confident, to work on myself. But then a friend of mine, suggested, and it was a very, very good advice from her, that, maybe people like you as you are, that, people feel that you are also like them. If you, and that's the idea of a community, to just be like them. Because, there's no hierarchy here. Even if you're the founder, there's no hierarchy here.
No hierarchy
So
here.
this is said, if, they're liking you so far, they will, like you. And it's fine. We everyone, has a lot of setbacks. And I'm also, learning to be a better host.
Hmm.
So I also, owned up that story of mine. In the last talk also, somebody said I noticed that, you're doing it really well, but maybe you're an introvert, because you're, soft spoken, you're not very loud. And, to manage such a group, you have to be really loud. So I think I realized that I am soft spoken, and that is who I am, and maybe that's what people appreciate, because I am one of them, and I
Yes.
want to pass on that feeling that it's fine, we're not flawed.
Rightly said, Manisha. Whatever, as an individual, who you are, just reflect and just portray the important part is that, because that is
Yeah,
your golden nugget,
correct.
and being authentic, and everyone like the relatability factor. Even
Yeah,
in any other sector, also in any other organization, or being when we interact with human to human or any person, so every person likes the authenticity. Why we connect, why I
correct.
connect with you, there is
Yeah,
some vibe within us, so that
yeah,
yes, I can connect with the Manisha, right?
right.
So that is your strength, and apart from this, take it as a feedback, that is called a constructive feedback. We can
Correct.
improve our
Yeah,
own self. That is the
correct.
way we live.
Yeah, right, definitely. Always, I think I'm just embrace that I learn every day. I don't have to learn everything हर एक वॉक में ही मुझे लर्न करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. विद ईच
Yes.
वॉक अर्लियर व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू फील कि अच्छा हमसे कुछ गलती हो गई, बिकॉज वी आर ऑल्सो लर्निंग. आई हैव नॉट डन दिस
Yes.
थ्रू आउट माई लाइफ. आई हैव ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट लाइक इट्स बीन 1.5 years. तो बहुत वॉक्स पे मेरी बहुत लर्निंग्स होती है. समटाइम्स आई नोट देम डाउन दैट दिस वाज something that I missed saying. I could have done this. I could have done this differently. But I have now realized that हर work से there will be a learning, and life itself is a entire learning process. So I've just now become open to feedback, even more open to feedback. To and I'm also now trying कि अपने पे भी इतना harsh नहीं होना कि आपसे एक गलती हो गई, आपसे कुछ भी एक मिस्टेक हो गया,
हाँ.
और आप उस पर इतना अगर ड्वेल करोगे तो हाउ विल यू डू अदर गुड थिंग्स. सो आई जस्ट टेक नोट ऑफ द लिटिल मिस्टेक्स आई समटाइम्स मेक, क्योंकि हम अपने लिए भी बहुत क्रिटिक होते हैं और बहुत
Rightly
हार्श
said.
हो जाते हैं कभी कभी. तो आई जस्ट टेक नोट्स ऑफ दैट, एंड आई ट्राई टू नॉट डू इट. बट कभी हो भी जाता है तो इट्स ओनली वी आर ओनली ह्यूमंस. लाइक देयर आर टाइम्स, दिस इज लाइक अ पर्सनल एनेक्डोट दैट आई एम शेयरिंग.
Yes,
देयर आर
please
टाइम्स
go.
when I feel कि इंट्रोडक्शन में मैं आज ये चीज़ें बोलूँगी, आई मेक सम पॉइंटर्स, and I will do the whole introduction, but I'll miss an important pointer कि ओहो मैंने ये तो बोला ही नहीं. अब I have to make the group stop and tell them right now. So I feel कि now will they judge me कि she didn't say it in the introduction, now she's making the group stop. But I've never realized कि वो judgment मुझे community से आया हो. I think judgments हमारे खुद को लेकर ही काफ़ी होते हैं. So but yeah, learning every day, and trying to be better host, because I love doing this. Honestly, like ever since I was a child, I wanted to do something that involved people, and I think I have found my purpose, my calling, and I've just realized that I wanted it so much, and I
Hmm.
should also enjoy it.
Hmm.
If we're giving an enjoyable experience to other people, I should also equally enjoy it, because I think वो joy उसी में मिलेगा मुझे भी.
राइटली सेड. एंड जब तक आप उस इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज को आप एंजॉय नहीं करते हो, दैट द वे यू होन द थिंग्स, राइट,
Yeah,
that is becomes your purpose, and you truly enjoy, because that is not your work, that is your calling, and you
well,
immerse into this, right? And it
absolutely.
reflects in your face as well, right?
Yeah.
So Manisha, what is your specific visions do you have for the city girls who walk Delhi in the next few years, and how do you hope to continue inspiring women through this initiative?
Sure. So I think first of all, the basic idea is to have more people join us, so more people can have this experience. More people can meet, and network, because network also is a very important part.
Yes.
We're all about friendships, but we're all about finding the right people that you can find relevant opportunities for, and for yourself. So हमारे पास अभी आज के टाइम में we have a lot of friend finding platforms. We have a lot of networking platforms, and हम लोग उन लोगों को reach out करते हैं digitally. But I wanted कि the connections that you make offline are very different from the connections that you make online.
True.
So I want कि more and more people join, and that I am able to connect, um, like two people who would have loved to connect with each other, if I can make that possible. So I think first of all, is the idea is to expand City Girls even more, and bring diverse experiences. We're already trying to bring a lot of new experiences apart from walks, because walks we started with, but we realized that it would be interesting to have like different experiences. Like
Yes.
started with a yoga workshop. Then we had dance and Zumba workshops. Then we had networking events, and now different events. Where recently we hosted an event at a jewelry store, and people
Okay.
got to learn about jewelry. Then we hosted a spoken word event. So different ways in which people can either learn, or just have fun, to and also find different platforms to interact with people, to express themselves. So because that's the whole idea, to just give people that platform to do different things. I think as individual you want to do different things. And
Exactly. Because the life becomes so monotonous because
yeah,
every time 9 to 5, and apart from this, what are the extra other thing? Because
yeah,
people are forget all these things, right?
correct.
So it's all about how you aware and how you enjoy that process.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe do that, and then once we feel that we've done enough in Delhi. I don't know moment कब आएगा, but we've done enough in Delhi. We'll try to expand to other cities also. हमने बैंगलोर का एक चैप्टर शुरू किया है.
Okay.
And this when there are a lot of people who reach out from other cities, Chandigarh, Kolkata, there was somebody from Mumbai as well. So people Hyderabad, people reach out from different cities. They say कि आप इसका हमारे सिटी का वर्जन भी बना दो. तो I asked them if they can lead it, because we would need people who can lead the works in their city. So that's the idea. Once I think Delhi, because I want to have all learnings from the Delhi chapter, so I can put them to use for different cities. And I think it's always good to be focused on one thing rather than try our hands at everything. तो एक बार दिल्ली में हमें थोड़ा सा सेटिस्फेक्शन हो जाएगा कि चलो दिल्ली का हमारे पास पूरा ग्रास्प है. Then
Exactly.
we'll take our learnings, move to the different cities, and I think eventually, like you know, eventually would be to find more ways to connect people. Uh,
Yes.
Maybe connect people intercity.
Yes,
Could
of
also be
course.
something. So host more events. Bring more experiences. Connect. Not a certain section of people, but everybody. Like every woman who wishes to go out of a comfort zone, meet new people. So I think that's the idea that I have in mind right now. That's how I think about the next few years. Let's see. I
So
think
great, Manisha, actually, because the route has been started and now the branches, how it works, it
yeah,
depends on you because the more you gather the important factors, then you can flourish all the branches and everything, right?
yeah, right,
So
right.
rightly said, and it's a wonderful connect, Manisha, and a very enjoyable and exciting conversation with us. And the next segment is all about. I'm going to tell you is about impromptu activity.
Okay,
So I would like to ask one question. There are 10 questions, so I would like to ask question, and you have to give answer in a one word. Is that okay for you? It's
yeah,
more
yeah,
of like a uh,
yeah.
interesting activity, right?
Yeah, sounds fun.
So let's start, Manisha. Solo walks or group walks?
Group walks.
Great. I know the best answer for that because that's what a city girls who walk Delhi.
Correct, stands for,
So
yeah.
early morning strolls or evening walks?
Early morning strolls.
Great. Networking or socializing?
I think socializing,
Okay.
networking will eventually follow. I think
Yes, exactly. Connecting online, meeting or in person?
for sure in person always.
Thank you. Exploring nature trails or urban city walks?
Nature trails. I think we spend a lot of time in our offices, in our homes. Nature.
Right, rightly said. Long walks for reflection or short walks for fitness?
Long walks for reflection, because fitness will follow.
Perfectly. Women empowerment or mental wellness?
Uh, I think mental wellness for everybody.
Yes.
Women empowerment can be a subset of it.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Comfortable sneakers or trendy walking shoes?
Uh, Comfortable sneakers, any day.
Right. Rightly said. Because without comfortable, we won't walk.
Correct.
Walk with friends or make new connections on the go?
Uh, make new connections, make
Exactly.
them friends, and then
Exactly.
walk with them.
Exactly. Become friends. Because
Yeah,
when we meet, become we are and as a stranger and then become friends.
correct.
Rightly. Building community or expanding personal growth?
Interesting. I love your questions. Um, I think for this one, I don't have like a concrete answer, but I think it depends. जो भी जिसको भी जिसकी जिस चीज़ की नीड है, I think should choose that. There are times when you feel that you want to chase personal growth, go for it. There are times when you feel the need of a community for personal growth, or for just finding solidarity, finding that comfort. So I think whoever needs, you know one of these can choose that. I think for me, I think right now both are important.
Exactly. So, Manisha, this is all about and having a great conversation with you. I think it was really fun and lot of new learnings from your side because I also want to implement in my work as well. Thank you so
I
much, Manisha.
Thank you, Shweta, for inviting me. I absolutely loved our conversation. It was so insightful. I loved the questions that you asked. I have actually interviewed with 3 radio stations so far,
Yeah.
with the best RJs that we have. But the conversation with you was my favorite, honestly.
Oh,
It had so much depth, so much meaning, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The questions that you had in the beginning, the fun round that you had in the end. Honestly, like I had the most fun.
that was a great interaction with you, Manisha, and I hope you enjoyed. And I wish you all the very best for your venture. Keep growing, keep evolving, and keep expanding. Moreover, not even in our country, above the country, beyond country, right?
You so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.